Bianca, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be filming a book haul. Now, a lot of these books you may have seen previously in my weekly vlogs if you've been keeping up to date on those. It's basically the books that I've received over the last month or so. And I just haven't done a proper haul of them yet, so I thought that might be a good idea. And there are a fair few books here, so I'm very excited to get into the video. So the first book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Basically, I don't know that much about any of these books, to be honest, but this one, I believe, has something to do with fairies and magic and a cruel prince. And I know that one of the characters is called Prince Carden because I'm always hearing all these things about Prince Carden, how mean and evil he is, but then everybody also kind of likes him secretly. So I'm very excited to get into this one. I obviously have not begun it, but this only cost me $7, so I'm really happy about that. The next book I found at Dymocks in hardcover, which if you live in Australia, you'll know how difficult it is to find hardcover books, and most of the time when there are hardcover books, it's not the first in a series. I've noticed at Dymocks, like quite frequently they have the last book in the series or like a middle book in hardcover, but they won't have the first book unless you order it in. But it is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Once again, I don't know all that much about this book, but it has been so heavily hyped up on BookTube and Bookstagram and just all over social media. Everyone's been hyping up about The Raven Boys, and so I'm very excited to read that one. Also, the cover looks so nice. The next book is a heavily hyped book. I've heard so much about it. I'm so excited to begin reading it, and it is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I was watching a whole bunch of weekly vlogs by people, and this was around the time News of Nightmares was just about to be released, and everyone was just absolutely praising Strange the Dreamer. And this one is about a librarian called Laszlo Strange, and he has a really great interest in researching the lost city of Weep, and he wants to find out more about it, and I believe he ends up traveling to it. Correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't read this yet, so I'm just very excited. I've seen a whole heap of fan art of this, and oh, I just can't wait. The next book I have actually read already, so it is Mirage by, now, I did learn this, Samaya Duide. Sorry. I purchased this one. This was a very quick buy because our Crate Book Club, I only signed up for their most recent October box. They did have Mirage in the box before though, and I signed up for the book club, and this was the book of the month. So I went to the store and quickly bought a copy as I really wanted to support this author as it is her first release. And also I was just really excited to see the live show on Instagram and Facebook. So I bought this one, and I can pleasantly say that this book was really good. I really enjoyed this. The world building in this is amazing. I'm not usually a sci-fi person, but this worked. This just really worked. I was really happy with this book, so totally recommend. The next book is Escaping from Houdini by Kerry Mansgalauco. I always get her name wrong. I always have to think about what I'm about to say. But this is the third book in her series. So it starts with Jack the Ripper and then Hunting Prince Dracula, and now it's Escaping from Houdini. And as we learned in the previous book, that this book is about them going to America, and obviously they'll continue to do their like forensic-y stuff. I just really enjoyed this series, and I'm so excited for it to continue. Then I was on Book Depository thinking that none of my books that I own are all that scary or spooky. So I decided to order some more Halloween-y books that aren't too scary, or mostly just like darker themes I thought would be better. So first one I got is Every Heart a Doorway by Sean Maguire. I have heard so many good things about this book. Everybody who reads it says that it wraps up so nicely at the end for a book that's only this thick, like, which is quite surprising. And I'm just really excited to start this one. I think this will be the next book I start, as it is almost Halloween. Halloween is tomorrow at the time I'm filming this. So I reckon this will be a most definite, I need to begin this as soon as possible. Another book that I ordered for the Halloween theme is a middle grade novel called The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And this book is basically about children are usually fed starlight, and this little girl was fed moonlight, so that gave her some magical powers that made her different from the rest of the children. So I'm really excited to read this. From what I've heard, it's got some real like Studio Ghibli, like Kiki's Delivery Service and Howl's Moving Castle type vibes. So I'm very, very excited to begin this one, but I'm not sure when I will, but I'm so excited. And then my last book depository order contained This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. And I've never read anything by Victoria Schwab before, but so many people tell me that this is definitely an author to get into. And a lot of people have mentioned that this has become one of their favourite series. So I decided to give it a go. Decided to purchase the first one. I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I'm very excited to begin. So it's very thick though, so. Then I received my first ever Owlcrate subscription box, and if you've seen my Owlcrate unboxing, you already know what these books are. But the first one is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and I'm not entirely sure what this is about. I know for a fact though that it has like, it's set in some sort of Asian culture, possibly either Japanese or Chinese. I'm leaning towards Japanese. I'm not entirely sure what it's about though, but I did read the blurb during my Owlcrate unboxing, and it did sound very interesting, so I'm very excited to start reading that as part of the book club book. The other Owlcrate book is Pride by Ibi Zoboi. I should really Google the names before I film videos. This is a Pride and the Prejudice remix, as it says up the top, and I believe that although it's Pride and the Prejudice, it is set in a Black community in America. I know that the main characters are of dark skin, so I feel like that'll be really good because I haven't actually read Pride and the Prejudice before. So besides having to cope with all the events that happen in the Pride and the Prejudice story, they're also going to have to cope with some other stuff too. So I'm very excited about this one. And the final book that I have gotten this month is A Curse of Ash and Embers by Jo Spurrier. Now, this book is so exciting on what I believe it is. I got it from Dimmicks, and the author Jo Spurrier is a local author. This is her first young adult fantasy novel. She is usually an adult fantasy writer, so this is her first young adult. And I even got it signed that says to Bianca, best Jo Spurrier. And I'm just so excited. This was my first ever signed book. It was my first book signing I ever went to. I've just never been to any sort of event with an author, so I feel like this book will always be nice and special and close to my heart. But basically it is about witches, and it's got a few different characters in it obviously, but yeah, so there's like a main, more evil witch and a young girl who has witch-like powers, and so I feel like this one would also be a really great October read, even though it's almost November. But I just, this just makes me happy. Anyway, so that is the end of my book haul. I am pretty sure that is all the books I have received recently. So I hope you will join me next time, and goodbye.